sadly.
Oh, how's everybody
If
doing
you
tonight?
doing great.
Thing is being a little wonky. Okay, so we have had a bunch of horror news. You can see me, right, Matt?
I'm looking
Right?
at the stream. Uh, okay, no, it just switched over to our POVs. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool, cool. We have had a bunch of horror news as of lately, and so much to talk about. And Matt originally was final group here live stream next week, but there's so much that needs to be talked about. There's a lot. I don't know what happened to Jeremy. Hopefully,
He said that he was having to spit it out because apparently he was having technical issues. But
well, that's him. Hopefully, Jeremy joins chat. I'd really love to hear his opinion on our four news. But how are you doing?
doing fantastic, man. Happy Friday to everyone. It's good to be back
Yes.
here.
Oh man, so glad to have the work week done. But it really sucked to have to like sit here and hold all this horror news because I've done like a couple videos, certain topics and stuff to go in depth, everybody's opinion. But I'm really excited to be doing this today. Cool.
I think it's yeah, Beth's saying you're a little bit low in the stream. Yeah,
I'm really low. Man, what's going on?
you have to like practically be eating the microphone to like be.
I don't understand like why I'm low for. Maybe it reset my stuff whenever I updated.
Like you sound fine like right now, but it's like I don't know. Like other times, like it just sounds like really low, I guess. But
I don't know.
yeah,
I did an update to the software. I think it probably did something with it.
it is possible. Yeah, so,
I'm gonna
it's
bring
just
it as
unfortunate
close as
sometimes. Like
possible. Hopefully
okay,
this is a little bit better.
yeah.
All right. Pull this here. C is for Chris and Gabe. I want to highlight the smiley face. Thank you, Beth, for being here. For whatever reason, I've had technical issues with my microphone all night, and I really hope that it doesn't hinder the stream. But we're gonna go ahead and get to it.
Yeah, really excited either way. So hopefully we will make it through with little problems as possible. But
Yes. All right. So basically, the big news is that Matthew Lillard is returning for Scream 7. So I'm pretty excited about that. But there's a lot of people, Matt, I'd love to know your opinion, that think that Stu is alive. What do you think about that?
this has been a theme that's been going back as far as like Scream 3. Apparently, one of the early drafts for Scream 3 was that Stu was supposed to be alive. He somehow miraculously survived being stabbed and had a TV thrown at his head. But one of the original concepts for the original Scream 3 was that I think he was supposed to be running this like underground operation involving a bunch of other ghost faces, right? And I guess that got scrapped because at the time, obviously, when the movie released was like around the same time that the Columbine shootings happened, and they just didn't want to push the envelope any further than they had to. So then they eventually had to rewrite it. But to answer the question, like I am interested at best. I don't know where they're going to bring him in as far as continuity. I'm kind of wondering if like either it's going to be like one of two things. I think either he will be alive and like he's just been hiding this entire time, or maybe they could do like a Scream 5 and Scream 6 thing, like where like they utilize an older Billy Loomis as kind of like a psychological thing for the the um the daughter of Sam. So like I have no idea. I have no idea if it's gonna be like a trauma thing with Sydney and other characters, or if like Matthew Lillard actually is gonna come back as Stu. Um, I'm skeptical, but I'm really curious to see like what the actual overall thing will be like when it's done. So we'll just see.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely agree. To pull this up here, because not only is Matthew Lillard coming back, but also Scott Foley, who played Roman Bridger, Sydney's half brother in Scream 3, who is all but confirmed dead. So it does make
This
me
is
wonder.
an even bigger one than like Stu for me, actually, if
Yeah,
I'm being
yeah.
honest.
I mean,
Because like okay, you could infer that maybe it's theoretically possible that Stu did survive the TV getting crushed. And I don't personally think that's the biggest thing. But like this guy was shot in the head at the end of Scream 3. Sorry for spoilers, but if you're a Scream fan, you should probably know this by now. But like he was shot in the fucking head at the end of Scream 3. I'm like to my knowledge, like he was using a bulletproof vest, but he does not have a bulletproof brain, I don't think. So,
Yeah.
well,
If so, he's what, the fucking Terminator, pretty
mhm.
much. Uh, yeah. So for this right here, for him to come back, it makes me think that they're going to dive into a little bit of what they were tapping into with Scream 3 and the backstory with,
Mhm.
Sydney's mother, Roman kind of, swaying Billy and Stu and just all of this. I feel like it has to be that because if these two are alive, I will be absolutely floored, not just because the fact that I think they're clearly dead, but the fact that they're announcing it. It wouldn't even be a surprise, because why would you
Yeah.
announce that?
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like they're going to have to be doing more backstory, flashbacks with de aging, of course, or hallucinations, nightmares, something like that. That would kind of be interesting to see that approach to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody really knows, obviously, until the film comes out. But I would be, I think it would throw me through a loop if they were alive, especially Roman. I mean, I can understand people wanting Stu back because he might have been able to survive that. But like you
But
mentioned,
Roman, like,
no.
well, because there were people, unless I'm mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think for Scream 5's promotional material they mentioned that, like, did they mention that the act I forget the guy's name, but who played Billy Loomis did they mention that he was returning at the time? Because I can't remember if they did or not.
That I do not know because I really didn't follow, news on that film. So I'm not for sure. That's something I thought about looking in on because I wanted to know if they announced this beforehand. That way, people know, like, that they're not going to be the killer. They're just
Right.
putting it
Right.
out there. They're throwing it there. There you go. They're coming back for flashbacks or other various, means throughout the film. So honestly, nobody really knows at this point, but we'll see. I know that me and you were talking, outside of the stream, and it could either be like a really good film or it could just be throwing all the fan favorites, like playing to
Fan
the
service,
crowd.
yeah.
Yeah, fan
It can
service.
feel very very heavily fan serviced, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. We'll see if it's nothing but nostalgia bait, but me personally, I think Scream 6, it was okay. It's not my favorite one. I could watch it, but going to the theater, I had fun, but I already knew the killer going into it. I
Mhm.
had my suspicion, and it turned out to be right. And I don't know. I'm hoping that this one kind of ends it, and it ends it good, because I don't know how many more that they can do. I mean, this is Scream 7. I don't want it to be like Children of the Corn series or trying to think of another one that just kept going. At this point, there's a lot of them that just have 15 different entries.
Yeah.
Don't know how realistic that can be. I mean, hell, we already got 7, Ghostface coming after, Sydney or,
Right.
Sarah or Sarah, what the hell, Tara and Sam. So
Mhm.
I'm curious to see it, but I don't know. You got one half of the people saying one thing, one half saying the other. Nobody's gonna know until that comes out. Love to know your guys' opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this topic. This will be a little bit more kind of quick and to the point. We have finally, as of right now, I mean that price tag. Oh my. We're gonna be
Dear God in
getting,
heaven. Oh
yeah,
my god.
we're gonna be getting the Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection on 4K. Now, for that price tag, it better not have this artwork and it better not be one single case because that is ludicrous. I
Man, like, that
personally,
is
I would want all 7
ah,
still books in a big box for $260, unless that
mhm.
price decreases, obviously, which it very well may. But it is scheduled to release this December.
I'm actually, if I'm being honest, like, cause like, I mean, I don't know if you wanna actually, do I have it over here? Yeah, I do actually. I don't know if you wanna show for comparison's sake, Chris, on, like, on my screen, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
um, obviously we have this right here, right? The
Yep.
standard Blu-ray collection, and, like, why can't we do something? This is just me nitpicking, of course, but like I think it would be kind of cool to do something kind of akin to what the Friday the 13th series did with like Shout
Oh
Factory, like where
yeah,
they increased all the films in a big box set. They're each individual case. And they also should just get all the distribution rights and get all that shit situated so that we can have all the like Friday the 13th, there's all the Paramount films, and of course there's the New Line Cinema films that also was a collaboration with the remake. So like you have the remake included in there. I don't personally like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, but like I think it would be cool for the collector's sake. But
I just thought
yeah,
that
I
should be
mean,
trash.
but for this, like, okay, like I get that it's a 4K upscale, but it's like that is a really hefty price tag. I
Yeah.
don't even think even the like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like the 4K upscale, did not cost that much money. And like just saying, like I know that it's like a lot of those films, but I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I love the first and third to death, but I'm not paying that. I'm really not. I will
Yeah.
wait. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Unless it's 7 still books and have very like new commissioned artwork that just
Mhm.
rocks my socks off or rocks me to my core, then I may think about getting. Then I'll do it in payment. Dude, $200. That is a lot of to spend on 7 films.
Right. Right.
That is
Assuming that
insane.
this actually is true, like this actually like is
Yeah.
all like, then this is not just like a mock-up that someone made or something like that, or just I don't
Well, it's from Zavi, so it should be, official. I
know.
just
Hmm.
hope that the artwork's better. We get 7 individual still books. I mean, for that price, I don't think that that's selling one singular still book. And if that artwork sticks, because that's the artwork they've been using ever since the Blu-ray collection you showed. We
Yeah.
definitely need to go a different route, but it is to be determined. We will see on
Yeah.
that. But I mean, hey, I'm just glad that we're getting them. I just, I'll be getting them. They're that damn expensive.
Right.
But let's
It
move
would be cool though
forward.
for like a future thing. Please Shout Factory, please do it, or Scream
Please,
Factory.
please, please do it.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a lot
So,
of cool shit. There's a lot of cool shit you can do with that artwork. I'm sure. Yeah.
oh, dude, all kinds, man. I mean, there's so many cool dream sequences throughout the film, or film. But, right. So you can still see this, right?
Yeah, I can still see
All right.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is pretty cool. I was not very hyped about Alien Earth, but after seeing some of this promotional, material, I'm gonna check it out. So right here, I love that, and we were safer in space. Can't speak today. We were safer in space. They got the xenomorph, and a really cool thing is, I knew nothing about the cast, but Timothy Oliphant is gonna be in it, and he's a really good
Oh, I love that
actor.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the guy.
so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool. I'll definitely watch it just for that, because I'm a fan of him. And I mean, we just got done speaking on Scream. Got Mickey there in Alien
Yeah.
Earth. It's
Mickey
gonna
is
be
a sick fuck that wants to kill the aliens. All right. Yeah. Like.
apparently it's gonna be set 2 years before Ridley Scott's Alien, so that's pretty cool. So we're not
What?
too
Okay.
far from everything. I
Now,
figured,
now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't this already happen technically with Alien versus Predators or Aliens versus Predator? Like technically.
yeah, I try to pretend those films don't exist,
Yeah. Yeah.
but pretty much, they crash on Earth, and yeah, pretty much puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat in the sci-fi horror series Alien Earth. Yeah, so you got like a recovery crew searching for survivors, and the standard, run of the mill. Hey, they pop up
Mhm.
on the alien, so nothing groundbreaking there from just a brief plot summary. But dude, I want to show
Maybe if
this
this
off.
was like a 1 or 2 season thing, it could potentially work, yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
like one of those things like where it's like dragged out for like a long time. It's like I could maybe see this being like a nice like little thing for Alien fans. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't have many subscription services to begin with, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it if I heard good things about it, of course. But
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I have Hulu, so I'll definitely check it out because I don't use it as much as I should. But yeah, Beth, yeah, I would love to watch. That'd be cool to watch that together because I really liked Romulus a lot. So I'm all for good alien media because good lord, there for a little bit it was pretty rough.
Yeah. Maybe they actually could probably tie in with the fact of like what I don't know if this is actually what they're going for, but if you remember for if you remember during the events of Alien Resurrection, for instance, like the ending, they actually went back to Earth and how it was like
Yeah.
in complete shambles. I'm like, there's no way that like this has anything to do with that, right? Like we have to assume that Earth has been like desolate for like hundreds of years because like I think Resurrection took place like
Oh
a
yeah,
couple
like
hundred years after the events of the first Alien, even. So like,
yeah.
I mean,
And even Alien 3, the original, promotional stuff was like they're coming to Earth, so this has been a long time coming, but
mhm,
it is kind of odd, that's taken place 2 years before the original Alien film. But right here, yeah, Ridley Scott is an executive producer of the show and confirms that Alien Earth definitely respects the original Alien. So take that as you will. I take that as a good thing, a good sign. It'll
I
get
hope so.
closer to,
Yeah,
the original. But
yeah.
I really enjoy this poster here. I think this is really fucking cool. You got the
I
xenomorph.
like how like the actual Earth is like I like the way that it's like part of his like dome of a head. And
Yes.
it's kind of like I think it's pretty cool looking. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that. I thought it was gonna be, just a I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I was like, oh, Alien on Hulu, whatever. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. Like, if I seen that poster, I might would, pick it up. But I'd
yeah,
like to show
yeah.
the official teaser here. We're gonna obviously watch it without the audio. Try not to get copyright here.
But yeah, we don't want to get smacked by YouTube gods,
I'm
right?
gonna go
So
ahead and go full screen. Fuck it. We'll cut it out if this does get copyrighted. But what we're getting here is just a POV inside of the space station. Yes.
is it weird that this feels like a video game trailer in a way?
Yeah.
Huh.
So just
Uh,
very brief here. But I mean, hey, that's all I really need there.
Alien Earth.
Crashing, this summer. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, my excitement level was like at a 1 or a 2. Yeah, it's like a solid 6, 7. I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
check it out. And the next one is Megan
Oh,
2.0.
Megan. Yeah, I forgot this actually was a sequel. Yeah, I forgot this about this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Now I watched the first Megan. I think me and Beth did, and I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was that bad. I think we watched the unrated edition or whatever. I think it had a little bit
It
more.
just kind of feels like Chucky 2019, but just
Yeah,
even lighter than that. I mean, like less gory than that. So
which
like,
I've not seen the remake of Chucky, so I wouldn't know myself. But I thought Megan was okay. I didn't love it, didn't hate it.
no, yeah, no.
But yeah, it's gonna be coming into theaters June 27th, and basically the plot is 2 years after Megan, a marvel of artificial intelligence went rogue and embarked on a murderous rampage, got destroyed, all that stuff. Megan's creator, Gemma, has become a high profile author and advocate for government oversight AI, while Gemma's niece, Caddy, now 14, has become a teenager, rebelling against Gemma's overprotective rules. Unbeknownst to
Isn't
them,
this? This feels like a kind of the same thing as the first movie, doesn't it? I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
so far, but this right here is like the real part of the sequel. I'm assuming. Unbeknownst to them, the underlying tech for Megan has been stolen and misused by a powerful defense contractor to create a military grade weapon known as Amelia, the ultimate killer I can't speak, infiltration spy. But as Amelia's self awareness increases, she becomes excitingly less interested in taking orders from humans or in keeping them around. With the future of human existence on the line, Gemma realizes that the only option is to resurrect Megan and give her a few upgrades, making her faster, stronger, and more lethal. As their paths collide, the original AI bitch is about to meet her match. I struggled to get through that
Okay,
one.
okay. So
So,
it's almost like Megan actually will be like.
the
So
protagonist.
it's almost like she'll be good this time, kind of. At least that's what I'm gathering
That's
from this.
interesting. It kind of reminds me of like T2 in a way.
It's like yeah, it's like a reversal. Like like it's just like whereas before the first one, Megan was like programmed to be like obviously the antagonist, and like now it's like well now there's apparently something worse than Megan, and so like they have to resurrect. I'm like, there's absolutely no way this couldn't backfire at all, right? I mean, like, okay,
Yeah,
like
I would agree with Beth. It does kind of sound basic.
yeah.
Here's the poster.
Honestly, like one of my biggest things about Megan was that like, and this is not to get into much of a side tangent, but it's like I thought the Megan was, like, an okay film. I saw the marketing for it, I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a try," 'cause, like, it seems like it's very heavily following the events of, like, the remake of Chucky, where, like not to spoil it too much, but, like, the remake of Chucky was that, like, instead of it being a possessed doll, it was more like an animatronic doll that just simply kind of it gained a level of sentience that it wasn't able to control, and as a result, it kind of, like, was, like, attacking people, and that's kind of the same thing here with Megan is that, like, the more it learns and adapts, the more it becomes more protective, and as a result, it basically sees anyone, other than, like, like, their friend as a threat, even someone like, Gemma, I believe her name was, the Guardian, so I don't know, I thought it was interesting, but I also thought that Megan was a bit too light on the gore, and, like,
Mhm.
really the only thing that I can recall from the movie was, like, obviously that kid gets his ear pulled off, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
maybe a guy gets sliced with a sword, but, like, there really wasn't too much gore in that movie, and for some people that might be a positive, but, like, I just didn't think it was really anything bold, it just kinda felt like it was derivative of other things, but
I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, because like you mentioned, I haven't seen, the remake of Chucky, but it kinda seems like just a standard, AI gone bad plot movie
Yeah.
pretty much, and nothing to write home about. I mean, at least you could throw in a bunch of gore, but they didn't with it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Does that mean the movie's bad? No. I mean, like, the movie has other problems besides just that. I think it is an interesting idea, especially because, like, it taps into the idea nowadays of, like, how, like, parents rely on technology to watch over their children and how,
Yep.
like, when they get too attached to something and then the parents trying to pull them away from it, they don't realize the effects that they have with that attachment. So, like, in fact, I think James Cameron, like, that was one of the biggest reasons why he made Terminator was because he was afraid of AI getting too strong or too powerful. So it is a good idea, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, like, super excited, like, I have to see this, like, day 1, but I'll probably see it either way. Maybe whether it's in theaters later on in the weeks to come or maybe if it's on VOD or something like that, but
Yeah, I think I might check it out when it's, VOD, like streaming, something like that. Probably not one I'll go to the theaters to watch, but I'm gonna show this little quick teaser here.
mm,
So yeah, I mean, not extremely hyped about that, but I mean, hey, uh, cool to see another horror film come out. They all can't be
yeah.
winners. And then the next one here we were talking about, yep, is Final
I'm probably yeah, I was
Destination
gonna say,
Bloodline.
I'll probably piss off some people with this, but yeah.
Uh,
Let's look at them
all right,
first, yeah.
yeah, let's just go ahead and check out the payoff because I can't show the entire clip too long, and then I'll let you kind of give your thoughts on it and give your hot take on the Final Destination franchise.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and skip to about
Held up by his tongue, and, like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Mason
Obviously,
St.
granted, he has, like, a step stool below him, but
Oh yeah, and here's the poster. I mean, that looks okay. I mean, I like the colors.
yeah.
Nothing to write home about, but I mean, I like the teaser that we got here. But I mean, I think me and you are probably in agreement on this. Go ahead and get back to Discord here. I like the first two a lot, but after
Mhm.
that, I do kind of like three in this way of like I know it's a good movie, still enjoy
Yeah.
it, but it is definitely a step down from the first two. After that, I
Yeah, I just I don't know. I get why people do like this franchise, and especially with the first two. Like, it was kind of like it was something interesting and, like, kind of creative back for its time.
mm-hmm.
But I think the problem with that I have with most Final Destination movies is, like, even with the first two that I do like, my main thing is that, like, they become really predictable, and, like, there's always, like, the endings, like, where, like, you know if you've seen these movies, you know these characters are gonna die somehow, whether they die in the first movie or they die in the next movie afterwards. Like, it's ultimately hard for me to care about any of them, and I think that's obviously the point is that, like, you can't escape fate, but it's like then you also have the corner with Tony Todd. Rest in peace, Tony Todd.
Rest
Love
in
you, man.
peace.
Like, he's always trying to come by and give them, like, cryptic messages like, "Oh, you gotta, like, you gotta solve it in this way, you gotta solve it in that way." I'm like, "But none of that fucking matters because everyone dies anyway." Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like and, like,
Inevitable.
my patience, like by that point, my patience just wears thin because, like, I love I love Tony Todd, but I'm just like, "Man," like, I don't know. Like, I know that that's ironic coming from me because I love things like Halloween and, Friday the 13th and whatnot. Friday the 13th is a very predictable franchise, right?
Oh,
But these ones are, like, almost like even in the 3rd movie, you have, like, the roller coaster assembly, like, that's how this franchise feels to me. It feels like a roller coaster events, like, there's, like, the highs, there's the lows,
definitely.
but then, like, the lows are, like, really fucking low. So, I'll
Yeah,
give it a chance, sure. Maybe they'll do something new to impress me, and maybe they'll change. Like maybe they might do something to subvert my expectations. But like I can almost guarantee I know exactly how this movie's going to start and how it's going to end. So we'll see.
yeah, it kind of falls into that. The formula is so predictable, which admittedly, like you mentioned, Friday the 13th and other horror franchises like slasher films in particular, they fall under that category, and you're really going to have to mix it up and do something completely different.
Hmm.
But I will probably watch it because I do think this is Tony Todd's last performance, if I'm not mistaken. I will probably watch
Yeah,
it just for that. I don't know if I'm going to the theaters and watching it. I don't think I'm that big of a fan of the franchise, but I would watch it. Hopefully, it does something new.
yeah. Like 28 years later. Oh yeah,
Oh
that's like
yeah,
a
yeah,
day.
we're
That's like a day one seat for me. Like I will have my ass in the seat, even if I have to like sit in the aisle seat, or like sit out in the aisle, like down the stairs to watch the movie. I will do that. But like
hmm
for Final Destination Bloodlines, like I can wait a little bit. It's
Oh,
fine.
dude,
Yeah.
I'll never forget watching it 2017. We were in the
Hmm.
worst seats possible, dude. It was at the very right next to the screen, the main bottom, and I'm sitting here looking like had like the worst neck cramp ever.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
would still watch, 28 years I'm in.
You see, yeah, Beth has actually a pretty interesting comment here if you want to bring it
Yeah.
up real quick. Yeah. Um, I didn't like them until I started watching breakdowns about them. Same thing with The Purge. Yes. Oh my God. The Purge is another franchise that I just don't understand the appeal of that one. The like first one's just a generic home invasion thriller. Second one was better, but not by much. And then the rest of them, I did not give a shit about them like at all. I don't know.
I'm trying to think how many I made it to. Maybe two or three of the Purge movies, and then I just kind of fell off. I really like the
Yeah.
second one, if it's the one I'm thinking of, like Anarchy. I think I did like that one.
Anarchy. Then there's like election year, and then like the first. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
there's
so many of
first
them.
Purge, forever Purge, we all purge. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of. I would like to go back and revisit those, but I don't know, man. In terms of being excited for the new Final Destination, I'll catch it when it's on streaming. It's not a day one. I must go to the theaters and watch. But I will at least check it out. Tony Todd.
Hmm. Definitely.
Go ahead and get back over here. Okay.
Because you don't want to fuck with that Mac Daddy. So
Oh no, no,
no.
can't fuck with Tony Todd.
No.
Yeah,
Okay, this one is this one I'm gonna let you take on because I'm not too informed on this one.
yeah.
So
So, uh, and I don't know, Beth, if you've seen. Can't remember if we watched it together or not, but this is one that I really like. Um, I really like is The Faculty. It's a late '90s, '98 is when it was released. Has a really good cast: Elijah Wood, John Hartnett, um, Jordana Brewster. Really good cast in my opinion. Even like Usher in this, I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, it's not like the greatest movie of all time. I just think that it captures the late '90s perfectly, and
hmm.
it's set to get a remake. And I don't know, man. I feel this way about certain films. Like I really love the film Tombstone, and why does everything have to be remade? Why can't something just be of its time? You know what I mean?
Actually, remaking Tombstone.
That's what I've heard. And it has a good
Oh,
cast to it, but like I just don't I don't know how you're gonna top Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott. I mean, the list
Kurt
goes on.
Russell. Yeah,
Yeah.
or what's his name? I forgot the guy's name, but yeah,
I mean,
I know
has
what you're talking
has
about.
like a great cast, and the remake for that is gonna have a good cast as well, from what I've heard. But some things just let it be. You know what I mean? Let it be of its time. And it's funny that I'm saying this about a late '90s film. I never thought I'd get this like personal about films from like my era, because
Hmm.
mainly I'm like a '70s '80s guy. But I like this one a lot. But at least Robert Rodriguez is gonna produce it, so there is ties to the original film, so that is good. And Drew Hancock, which yeah, he's done Companion. He's gonna be doing the script duties, and Boulder Lot, who's done Barbarian, Weapons. I'm not familiar with Weapons, but they're set to produce. So it looks like it's shaping up to have good people involved. But as of right now, there's no word yet on who's being cast in the film or any kind of plot beats or who's even going to direct it. So very early
Yeah,
stages, but I I don't know, man.
See, like, like, my thing here is that, like I said, I have not seen the movie, but, like, it
Mhm.
seems like based on what you guys are saying, it's kind of a guilty pleasure in a way, like, at least that's what interpreting it. Like, I'm okay with movies that, like, maybe were not, like, the best at the time that they were
Mhm.
made. They could I guess I could see potential being remade. Like, if the movie was not that well made to begin with, I could see remake potential, and in the case of, like, something like The Fly, the original Fly from, like, the '50s, taking it in the '80s version with Jeff Goldblum, I think that, like, it's just a completely different story. It's a different retelling, and it's like it's just a whole other type of story. So, like, I think in that case, the Fly remake actually is warranted. It actually does do something different. But, even if we wanna go back to, like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for instance, I love the original, but I personally grew up watching the 2003 remake, and I love that one quite a bit. And, like, that one still has ties with the original, but it basically just takes it into more of, like, a different setting with more emphasis on the gore because the first one wasn't really that gory. Let's be honest.
No,
It
not
had
as
some
gory
gore,
as
but
people
it's
made it
really
out
not
to
as
be.
gory as some people make it out to be. I think more of the gore is implied than it actually is shown. So like, I see potential in that particular category, but like, it really just depends on like how they want to go with this direction. Like I said, I would probably have to go and see the original to see how it would stack up, if I would even like it to begin with. But that's
Yeah.
my whole thing on remakes. It's like, yeah, I agree that some movies are like kind of like the untouchables category, but like some people like, they just wanna see things remade, just with modern day technology. I'm like, I don't know, some things are kind of like lightning in a bottle. You can't always remake them and make them better. So,
Yeah, my whole thing with it is that I don't think it's like a great film. I enjoy it personally. I'm not saying it's a
mhm.
bad movie, but it's just kind of odd to go and grab this to remake because I really love the late '90s feel of it, and the cast. Don't think, yeah, you might be able to update the effects and stuff like that, but I don't think you're going to get a cast this good for the remake. Could be completely wrong. Could eat my words, but I can see these Hollywood blockbuster films being remade, but like faculty we're remaking that now. Kind of
Yeah.
odd to me.
Well, it's just like, think about, like, The Strangers Chapter 1, again, like, The Strangers Prey at Night. It's
Yeah,
like that is just an example of, like, Hollywood sometimes just being out of ideas. I mean, just rehashing the same shit over and over. I'm like
over and over.
I'm like, "Guys, like, just leave it alone." Like, I mean, like, just make something new, please. Like like,
Speaking of
please, like,
that,
you know?
Silent Night, Deadly Night. No, you
Oh,
got
yeah,
something
I
about this
forgot
one.
about this. I forgot about this, yeah. I'm somewhat excited about this because, like, look, the original Silent Night, I'll just before we even get into the article, the original Silent Night is obviously, like, one of those films that fits into the so bad that it's good category. Even if that wasn't the intention, they probably were trying to make a genuinely good scary horror film. It just kind of ended up being funny at times, especially the sequels. But, like, I could see potential with this, maybe if it was taken in a more serious route, but, like, then again, like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where, like, you're just making it with modern day technology. So, like, I don't know, is the acting even gonna be, like, over the top, or is it gonna be more serious? Who knows?
Yeah, see, that's really going to be the thing for me that makes or breaks the film for me. If I enjoy it or if I obviously have a bad time with it, because I like that so bad that it's good, kind of like Sleepaway Camp. And I'm not saying the first Evil Dead's bad. To me, the first Evil Dead, it's like they tried to play it straight, but it was like unintentionally funny at times, like how Ash would
Mhm.
constantly get annihilated by this flimsy bookshelf. I mean, I just love that, kind of humor, even though I don't think they really meant to have that in there. I would love
Yeah.
for this film to kind of border on that, and just be a fun film. I know this franchise has quite a few sequels. I've admittedly only seen the first film, the second, and the remake. I've not touched any of the other ones. So,
God, like, the first 2 are the only one like, 3, 4, and 5 were so hard to sit through. I
yeah.
can't even really say that I enjoyed them, like, they're just really hard films to sit through personally, so but that's just me. And then the remake was, like, okay. I mean, it
Mhm.
had Malcolm McDowell, and I like Malcolm
Oh,
McDowell
yeah.
also, but
Yeah, he's a good
like,
actor.
yeah, I mean
Well, the cool thing about this is that the guy who directed Wrong Turn, I've not personally watched VHS 85, but I have watched the first Wrong Turn, and I do enjoy that one. It's going to be directed by him, Mike P. Nelson. So it's
is
somebody
this
that,
the new Wrong Turn, like, the most recent one, or is
oh,
this, like, the
yeah.
original Wrong Turn? Because like, we have
Okay.
to remember still that there's a remake, isn't
You,
there?
you
Like,
are
or, like
correct on that because I completely forgot that even existed. So
let
it
me
could be
look up
the
his name.
remake.
Mike P. Nelson. Oh, while you keep talking, I'll look it up quick.
Yeah, that is probably the remake one. That makes a lot more sense because that's kind of a time gap there. The
Yeah, it's, the 2021 remake, yeah,
Okay, I've
okay,
not seen
so
that one. so I can't comment on that. But at least it's someone that has some experience. And then it's saying here it's a reimagining of the 1984 classic slasher. But another cool thing about it is that two of the original producers are attached to it. So you got ties to the original film, which is always good. It doesn't mean that it's going to be amazing, but that is a good thing to have.
Nothing
And
too is actually from the studio behind the Terrifier franchise. Like that's interesting to me. So
yeah,
maybe
that
makes
is
it
too.
makes me wonder: are they going to make it more gory like Terrifier,
Uh,
or
from the
um,
poster, it kind of looks like that might be what they're aiming for, which I think is what they should do with it.
yeah,
Opinion
yeah. I don't think it probably should be like
as
as
yeah,
like gruesome as Terrifier because like I feel like maybe it would be getting a bit too much into that. But at the same time, because like obviously Art is able to get away with like a lot of things that he does because he's supernatural way. But like if
right.
this is like an actual dude like doing this stuff and it's not like supernatural, then like we'll see. Unless, of course, this is like one of those things where like the actual killer turns out to be Art the entire time, like he's the actual Santa Claus the entire
Now
time.
that would be
Like
pretty fucking good right there.
because it is ironic because Terrifier 3 did come out and it was a Christmas themed horror film. So I don't know.
So
But
here is the poster. It's simple, but I kind of like it. I think it's effective as the axe
it
with
kind
the
of it
original
kind of gives me
flame.
like vibes back to like the original poster even like it
Yeah,
feels that way. So I
yeah,
guess that's what they were going for. But like even just the font looks very 80s like, which I kind of like.
absolutely. This
Oh,
Christmas, you better be good. This is designed by Creepy Duck Design, which I think I follow him on X. So weird calling it X. I'm used to calling it Twitter, but he does some really good like fan posters, and
mhm.
it's cool that they got to use one for an official movie. I'm sure it's happened a couple times, but there is times where he will design one that is better than the actual theatrical poster, and I'm like, damn, this guy's
Yeah.
really good. So I'm glad to see got to make this one. So
Like I said, I think even then it's appropriate because even if you look back at the original Silent Night, Deadly Night poster, I think it was just a picture of like Santa going down a chimney with like the axe like being held out of
uh,
the chimney. I liked that. It was simplistic, but it gave you a perfect idea of like what you're in for. So
yeah, and I mean this right here, you have an axe, you have the snow, you have the lot. You know what you're getting when you see this poster.
actually, if
So
you just scroll up a little bit, if you remove Silent Night, Deadly Night, it actually could look like a poster for Hatchet, like next
yeah,
Hatchet
yeah, yeah,
movie,
I could see that.
like Hatchet 4. Like you better watch out.
But
like
it is going into production this spring and will slash into theaters late 25. I mean, obviously you gotta pump this out during Christmas. I'm assuming,
oh
or
yeah,
December.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I mean, I've only seen the first two and the remake. So hey, I'm
yeah.
all for holiday themed slashers. I've really enjoyed Thanksgiving, so I can't wait for
Yeah.
that.
I can at least see potential in like a remake from this because like the original film, like for all intents and purposes, like wasn't an amazing film. But like I can definitely see if they took it more, depending if they want to go in like more of a serious route, this could be something that could be potentially remade very well. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But
Absolutely, we'll see how they go about it. Chris Owens says that he loves Silent Not Deadly Not. Yeah, man, it's a good one. So we're hoping that this reboot here is good. Hopefully, it
making a list and checking it twice.
gives us some
He's gonna
more
find out who's
infamous
on thin
moments.
ice. Yeah.
All right,
Mm.
you've not seen this one, so I guess I'll have to take the lead because I've only seen a few episodes. But Beth, did you finish this one? If so, I hope you enjoyed it. But this is kind of sad news. Bruce Campbell's Peacock horror series with the 1% Rotten Tomatoes score is canceled after one season, and that is Hysteria. It's been canceled after one single season. The plot, for people that didn't know, Hysteria, basically it tackling the idea of satanic panic, supernatural horror series about a group of teens who form a band that capitalize on their town's growing interest in the occult. Things start to go wrong when a strange series of events is being tracked back to the teenage rocker. Kind of, not giving away all the, secrets there, but definitely has to do with the occult, all that craziness, which,
Seems
uh,
like a film or like a show that like harkens back to like the 70s and 80s of
yeah,
cinema. Yeah.
absolutely. Definitely 80s, man. And from what I've seen, I wanted to watch, finish the series. I really enjoyed it, and I really liked Bruce Campbell's character, but I'm a huge Bruce Campbell guy. I love Evil Dead, Briscoe County Jr., even got into Burn Notice because Bruce Campbell.
I just
But
want to see him on screen, just like saying to the occult, "Oh, you bastards! Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
why?
Why?" Uh,
But
anyway,
yeah, that is unfortunate. I mean, to have a 91% rating, people seem to enjoy the show. I mean, I've heard that it left like a cliffhanger. It left for a second season. Sucks that once again, a Bruce Campbell, I don't want to say a Bruce Campbell show, like he just acts in it, but something that has him attached to it doesn't get to see out its full vision. Obviously, Ash versus Evil Dead, as you can kind of see down here, they're kind of going with that, saying that it's a unfortunate Campbell trend.
because
Um,
he's like associated with that one IP, isn't he? Yeah,
hmm
be the case.
And Briscoe County Jr., I really enjoyed, but it only had one season, unfortunately. I guess pretty much here it says the show failed to make like the top 10 streaming charts after being released, so they canceled it. Haven't gave a
Really?
statement or anything like that. So kind
Mm,
of sad, man. I think they should have let it cook a little bit more. Give it 2 seasons at least.
yeah. Maybe at least a couple more episodes to attempt to try and tie up any loose ends. But I mean, I don't know. Like then again, I know that the Resident Evil show on Netflix, like that had like one season and then it was canceled, wasn't it? Like it didn't even really get that far.
Mm-hmm.
But from my understanding, it seemed like that show was like received a lot less fairly by both fans and audiences and critics alike. But I don't know.
All right, and now to move on to the last topic, and we'll kind of take our time with this. Unfortunately, I've
Oh
not
yeah,
seen Terrifier 3, so I can't really comment. Jeremy, if you're in the you've seen or seen if you are in here still,
I'm gonna say like, huh.
let us know what you
Hmm.
think because I think you left a comment on my video. I wanted to hear more, and the same thing with you, Matt. Terrifier 4 will reveal Art's origins. So Damien Leone teased that script is going to be epic, horrifying, and it's going to be, exclusive, and it's going to explain Art's origin. So that's very good. I know a lot of people are very intrigued about that. It can be a good and a bad thing. Like me and you've talked about, Matt.
Yeah,
Michael Myers. Do we really need a backstory with the remake and part 6? I like part 6 a lot, but did we
yeah.
really need to dive in every secret about Michael and what makes him tick, what his motives are? With certain franchises, it works perfect, like Scream, but
Yeah.
is it going to translate well with Art the Clown? What do you
I
think?
yeah. Yeah, no, this is definitely an interesting thing. Barely can hear us. Oh, are we quiet on stream?
Let me turn this up. I don't understand. I've not messed with any of my audio settings. I'll turn it up
Hold on one
here
sec.
through OBS.
Yeah. Let's try that, yeah. Um I don't know, I guess I think I sound okay on stream, but maybe I could use some increase, I'm not sure. Yeah, but I guess I should go ahead and do this. Should I go ahead and talk like while you're doing this
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
so this is interesting because like I just picked up Terrifier 3 on 4K. I was showing this to early Chris, but like this is a cool cover. I love this thing. But besides the point, Terrifier 4. So far my favorite movie in the series so far is Terrifier 3 personally. I've seen all these movies numerous times and I think Terrifier 3 is just the one that I had the most fun with. It's the one that for me has the most rewatch value. But yeah, each film we've been drip fed more information on Art and like the fact that he's obviously supernatural. He's been supernatural since the original film. Like obviously he was shot numerous times and brought back to life. So like, the idea of him being human was never really ambiguous to begin with. But um I'm okay with them drip feeding like a little bit more. I think that like it definitely would be interesting to get like a little bit more information on the character, but like you don't have to like fucking write like a novel on him. You don't have to like tell us everything we need to know. Like I mean like um you know that I think some things would be okay because obviously it keeps us intrigued and it keeps us coming back for more than just like, oh, like Art's back again. He's going to kill people in more sadistic and fucked up ways. I think giving us a little bit more would be a way for us to like have like a fresh way to keep the franchise fresh and just as opposed to something like I said with like Halloween, we're going back to that. Like, I get what they were trying to do with the Thorn trilogy and explaining Michael's evil, but like that for me just it just completely exonerated everything that Michael did up until that point because it's like, yeah, he's killing people, but like he's doing it because not because of free will, but because he's prone to do it because of this curse that's put on him. And as a result, for me, it actually made me hate the cult because like they're the ones who were doing this in the first place. So like, I don't know. Are they going to try and maybe make Art a sympathetic character? Is he actually just a good person, but maybe he's being controlled by someone, or maybe he was a bad person in his previous life before he became Art the Clown? I mean, like I don't know. So I would be interested, like, just give us, like, a little bit. Don't give us, like, too much, but, just enough to keep us invested. I think that's, like, where they should find, like, a nice common middle ground. So, like, I think that was actually another problem I had with something like Jeepers Creepers, for instance, like, not to get on a huge tangent with that too, but Jeepers Creepers, it's like, they really didn't give us, like, too much beyond, like, the creeper just, like, he eats limbs and regrows things based on, like, what he lost, and, like, we don't really know much more beyond that, and like, I think for some people, like, that's, like, what they want. They don't want knowing too much about the character, but for me, it's like, I think that you should give us at least something because, like, enough sequels pass by and you're just like, you start to get fatigued by the idea of him just constantly coming back with, like, no new information, just him killing people again. So, I don't know.
You got
I
to
have a
find that sweet spot of, you don't want to explain everything, but you want to bring people back. You know, you want them to come back because they like the character and they want to learn maybe little by little. Maybe that's what they
mhm.
should do with certain characters like Michael, maybe even Art the Clown. I think that would be the best way to do it. Maybe you should drip feed throughout the series. That way you don't have to do everything at the back half, or maybe they're cooking up something that is like the perfect explanation that doesn't
Yeah.
ruin art. It doesn't,
Just don't turn him into a sympathetic villain,
yeah,
please don't.
yeah. Please
Don't,
don't.
like, don't do that, like, same
He,
thing, like, they were there was, even, like, at one point, like, where they're talking about with, like, Friday the 13th, they were gonna explain, like, they were gonna talk about Jason's origin and, like, his dad. I'm like, "Don't
oh
I don't
yeah,
need to." Like, the first film gave you just enough information you need to know about Jason, like, he drowned, he was, like, picked on, he was, like, he was neglected. That's all you need to know, like, that's it, he has enough motivation to kill people as it is, and you understand, like, why he's doing so, but I don't
hmm
know, but,
yeah.
uh
Some horror villains you don't need to know everything, in my opinion. And like Texas Chainsaw 3D, I did not care about the whole. I'm trying to think of the line exactly. Uh, what was it? Something cuz or get 'em cuz or something like
Yeah,
that.
like, do your thing,
Do
cuz,
your
yeah,
thing,
like
cuz. I mean, he brutally murdered all of her friends, which yeah, the boyfriend cheated and stuff like that, and now she's just completely okay with it. That did not work for me. I don't
well,
like when
Leatherface almost killed her too, and
yeah,
all of a sudden now she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of him for the rest of my life now. I'm his caretaker." I'm like,
caretaker, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?" Like like, I don't know.
No, I don't love that movie.
Yeah,
Um,
uh,
I really hate that I'm having audio issues.
I
Uh,
like the actress in the movie, but no, yeah.
I have not changed anything, but I'm gonna look into it. I think it's probably where I updated the wavelength. It's probably reset my stuff somehow, even though
Yeah,
everything looks the same. But man, it's been nice just getting on here and talking, dude. I know
yeah,
it's not been that long, but uh, a lot of horror news. I wish that Jeremy could have been on here with us to give his feelings on the Terrifier for giving art and explanation. I wish I could
yeah,
comment a little bit more because I've not seen the third one yet, which I'm gonna work on because I've heard nothing but really good things about the third film.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I hope it ends good, man. There's so many franchises that start strong and end weak. For the most part, man, people love Terrifier.
Well, that's the whole thing. I think Damien Leone has said that he wants to end the series. I think either like around the fifth or sixth entry, which I'm okay with. Like I'm okay with them ending it like on a high note because I also and it's not just because I don't want to see like 27 Terrifier movies. Like I want to see what else Damien Leone can do outside of like that franchise. Same thing with someone like Parker Finn who made Smile and Smile 2. I think the guy is a very talented director, but I just hope that he doesn't continue to make smile movies for the rest of his career. I want to see what else
Yeah,
he's capable of doing. There are people that like I'm like you guys would probably do so well. Imagine if he made like a fucking Friday the 13th movie like Damon Leone, or he made like like a new entry to like some other horror IP. Like it would be, or like Hatchet for instance. Like that's already pretty gory. Like holy shit, that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So
man. that she can't hear me. I think you're fine. I turned you up. I think it's just my microphone. That is
Yeah.
unfortunate. I am so sorry about that, guys. If you can hear me, hopefully didn't ruin the entire stream. The next one we're gonna have, and I'll have my shit fixed. I'd figure out what's going on, why it's being so low for. But the next one we're gonna be doing should be a really fun one. It's gonna be
Yeah.
less, bouncing around and stuff like that. We're gonna be ranking the final girls of horror, and I think that's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. Probably gonna
I
have
took the
some,
liberty I took the liberty of collecting them for myself, so, like,
yeah.
we have, we have an undisclosed amount of girls, but we have quite a few, so we're excited for it, yeah.
And that's gonna be fun because I think there's gonna be some opinions that people will agree and disagree with, and hopefully everybody gets in there and comments who they think should go where. We're gonna put them where we think, and just have a fun discussion. So
Yeah,
hopefully that does good. But yeah, Matt compiled the tier list. That's gonna be fun, man. It
yeah.
looks like a very good tier list. We got a good
And
selection of final.
it is kinda funny how we decided to do this, like, right before, like, Valentine's Day because we were thinking about doing, like, ranking Valentine's Day horror films, and I'm like, "Well, we haven't seen too many of them, so,
Yeah,
like, let's rank our, like, horror sweethearts, I guess, and that being the horror films, I guess, like, the final girls, so I guess that was appropriate for it too, but, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I think it makes sense because there's not too many Valentine's Day themed horror films that we can work with. And
Yeah.
I just love the idea of ranking Final Girls. It's something I haven't got to do, and I would love to do more tier lists. If this one goes good, expect more tier lists. Definitely leave comments, suggestions down
Oh, yeah.
below on what you want us to rank.
Yeah. Probably like horror franchises. We'll probably just rank
Mm.
individual films for horror franchises, or we might rank like franchises against other franchises as a whole. And like I don't know, like Saw versus Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever, Friday the 13th versus Halloween. Who knows? But
Oh, that'd be
we'll see.
kind of cool. Yeah, like ranking.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to do
because
that.
we have to remember like franchise as a whole. Is it great? Because like individual movies are one thing, but like the actual franchise as a whole, like that's where things get more interesting. So, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, I hate to cut it short. I don't want to keep going with my audio issues, but man, covered some great horror news. It's a good time to be a horror fan. It really is because so
hmm
much coming out for better or worse. We'll see how the Faculty remake holds up. See how the Silent Night, Deadly Night reboot, how that shapes
Scream
up.
7. Yeah,
Scream 7, that could be really good or really bad, depending which route
28
they
years
go.
later, please. Yeah,
Yeah,
28
28
years later,
years later.
please.
I can't wait to see that. Now, if I get disappointed on that, the whole 2025 is going to be ruined.
My disappointment is immeasurable. My day's ruined.
My
Yeah.
day is ruined. But despite the issues, thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next week